folks, welcome back again. Hopefully we can stick around this time. I think the router restart did wonders. You know, apparently you should do that every once in a while, I think. That's what I heard. I'm real big on restarting the computer, but apparently restarting the router, I need to start paying attention to that too. As we're under caution here once again in the GLSR truck series. This will be a good test to know if the laps led is counted on my side or server side. 16 laps it says for Whitley. That seems correct. Pace car going to be off. We're going back green once again, and hopefully for good. Green flag back out here in the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Mark Whitley gets a great jump on the restart. Battle for second between Garrett Grant and Ricky Springer side by side, the 18 and the 5. Neither driver willing to give the spot up, but Ricky Springer's going to take it. Garrett Grant going to settle into third. Justin Bondurant up to fourth. Brandon Alphin in fifth. Side by side for the sixth spot between the 4 of Colin Fambro and the 75 of Christian Angel. 75 now under pressure from the 15 of Forrest Smith. He's fallen back in the 75 truck. Whoa, and we got 3 wide action behind him. The 92 truck there, Tristan Ladouceur, making a bold move. Out of Ontario, Canada, driving the Rain Energy Drinks truck there. 3 wide in front of him. Dylan Rosenberg trying to make his way back forward. He was involved, I believe, in our first accident, or he had an incident that didn't bring out a yellow. He kind of had a half spin, caught the wall a little bit, got it back going. Lap 74 of 150. We're about to hit that halfway point. I once again want to apologize about the issues we had earlier. It seems like everything is working beautifully now. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong about that.
Well, I am back from Daytona to Dover again. Jesse, how are you doing?
I don't know how you made it that quick, but as you can see, or maybe you can't, I don't know. We've got a battle for the lead between Whitley and Springer here.
I'm watching this battle right there. Springer is all over that 77 Toyota heading into 3 and 4. We're going to see what he's got on corner exit there. Looks like this is kind of a 1-lane track already.
I feel like Dover's always kind of been that way. The bottom's going to be your friend, but sometimes you can make the middle to work, but it seems to be the closer you can get to the apron, Dover usually is the better off for you.
Definitely so. Going to see, looks like Whitley's kind of trying to do a good job of not really being in the middle, but one lane, half a lane up, and that's just stopping any run that Springer might have.
As we go ahead and ride on board with the 18 of Springer and see what he's seeing, he's looking for, I think he's already got 1 win this season. I might be mistaken, or he might be looking for his first one, but we know he's fast in these trucks, and he's having a good run here at Dover. Christian, your silence is scaring me. I'm worried that we're gone again.
No, we're here. I am, I might not be broadcasting, but I am monitoring 2 streams. I'm keeping an eye on everything. We are good to go so far. I'm just trying to, keep everything rolling at Hutchinson Motorsports TV, simulcasting here tonight. This is the Mr. Radio Truck Series. We're also live over at Daytona. They're in the middle of a session change, so they can go to heat number 2. I was watching Tristan Ladouceur, though, enter this battle. He just slid on into the DMs trying to get up there for the lead.
Yeah, he kind of popped up out of nowhere in that 92. He's making his way into second with no issue. He might have something for the 77 truck, too. He's kind of using that middle lane that we talked about, and it's working well for him.
Definitely so. He's side by side with your race leader down the backstretch. Kisses the wall a little bit, but it doesn't matter. He's going to easily take your race lead. Without
an issue. I mean, we unfortunately missed a lot of the race due to the issues we had, but I can tell you that Tristan, he just pit a couple laps back on lap 68, so them tires are fairly new, and I think that might be what we're seeing is he just has fresher tires than these other guys.
Yeah, fresher tires indeed, and he has gone out to the races as Tristan LaDucer. Mark Whitley, just gonna have to maintain second right now.
Yeah, and you can see the rest of the field kind of making their way forward behind him. Whitley and Springer still second and third, but you look behind him, you got the 71 of Darrell Young Jr., you got the 99 of Diego Sainz, even the 41 of Lucas Strayer. You got a pack of hungry trucks behind you here.
Yeah, Mark Whitley's kind of holding up everybody back there, it seems, as the 71 of Darrell Young Jr. getting on his outside, going to make the pass. So it seems like if you're going to be passing right now, you're going to have to do it on the high side, especially if somebody as good as Mark Whitley is guarding that bottom.
Yeah, great run here on lap 83 for that 71 truck, Darrell Young Jr. out of Peoria, Illinois. He might have something to reel in the 92. We'll have to wait and see. The 99 of Diego Sainz, my driver to watch. He's made his way into third now out of Richmond, Texas.
Diego Sainz moving up the field.
He's looking to make his way into second place. He's going to pass that 71, no issues. It's going to be interesting to see how this race wraps up as we get towards the end, how the strategy is going to play. I do have sources that told me that fuel not really going to be an issue tonight. It's going to be the tire wear. At least that was with the old setup. It was absolutely shredding the right side tires. That the change they made to the setup could have helped that, but we'll have to wait and see.
So 39 is going to be challenging Mark there. Now for sixth place. Mark kind of giving a fall back now as his tire. What's that?
I was saying Ed Robertson trying to make the move as well. I think he's kind of getting held up by both of these guys right now. Robertson looking fast here. That 64 truck. We take a look back out front, though. Tristan LaDucer. I will learn how to pronounce his name, I promise you. But well, he's currently holding the lead. You could do what I do. What's that?
Definitely so. You could do what I do and just almost say a different thing every time, not meaning to.
Yeah, there was actually some actual Discord chatter about that with our points leader, Matt Telder. Apparently you have a history of saying his name wrong?
Do I?
That's what I heard. I mean, they were calling Blake out for it, and Blake said, "Trust me, it isn't me. It's got to be Christian."
Well, Blake does tend to say the names right, and I do tend to say I'm wrong. But, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, I'm doing the best I can. Just be lucky I'm saying your name somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you might say a name or two wrong, but when it comes to a road course, you know way more corner names than Blake does. That's for sure.
Well, the thing is, don't make them up.
Every corner is a new name for Blake. He doesn't care about the actual history of these tracks. But when you're here at the Monster Mile, even Blake knows what that is. The Monster Mile, definitely a very famous track here. You're getting the All-Star race in real life next year.
Definitely so, as they're heading through the Harpoon design turn right here.
I like it. What's the other? What's 1 and 2 then?
That is going to be the slide job turn in 1, and then it moves on into junk 2.
Okay. I like it. It's a nice little touch.
Definitely so. But you see Darrell Young Jr. battling the 64 way up there on the track. I bet he's finally over his emotional trauma. He was, absolutely gutted when Travis Kelce proposed to Taylor Swift, taking Travis Kelce off of the market. He was absolutely, we actually interviewed him, and Duke barely talked. He was so upset, Jesse.
Man, that is rough. If he had his sights set on T Swift and Travis Kelce finally popped the question and kind of crushed his hopes and dreams. You can understand the emotions that would be involved in that, but I think the 71's burned his stuff up. He kind of rocket shipped up to second place, and now he's just falling back. He's back to sixth now.
Definitely so. Dover, you know, being the concrete jungle that it is, it's definitely one of those tracks that if you are not taking care of those tires, I mean, it's gonna show. It's gonna show, and you're gonna fall back. Me.
Another driver we haven't talked much about. You see him there in the 88 Hutchinson Motorsports TV Ford F-150. Chad White out of Loudon, Tennessee. A sneaky good run for him. He's up in 9th place now. Is this going to be good enough to keep his job, do you think?
Well, you know, with his recent performance lately, he's going to have to show us some top 5 performances. So his job is still currently on the chopping block. You know, we have some lawsuits going on right now, too, of certain HMS TV drivers that don't run our paints like they should. We can't mention any names due to the ongoing legal battle, but ladies and gentlemen, oh, caution.
Uh-oh, I see the 9 of Bondurant's name popping up, and yes, he is slow on the apron. We're going to have to go back and see what happened to the Monster Energy driver there, the number 9. Do we want to watch this one from the Harpoon Design blimp, Christian?
Is that a question, Jesse?
Yeah, no, I don't even know I don't even know why I even asked. Go ahead and walk us through this wreck here, Christian.
Alrighty, so we see the 9 entering the turn. 19, you know, kind of doesn't move. We're gonna have to rewind that one. Let's get it from another take. Camera angle is perfect there. It's the 9 locks it down. I think he should have held his tires a little bit better there. Held the brake, I mean, but let's just move it on back.
Up real quick.
So the 9, we're going to slow motion, hopefully. Yep, the 9 has to check up right there as the 11 is kind of a lane down. 9 knows he couldn't fit at the time. But once the checkup happens, he just commits to the turn. The 19 is up slightly, but I feel like the 19 was more on the optimal line than the 9 was. So I'm going to have to say the 9 came down.
That's definitely another tough one because you can make an argument both ways, but I really think that Justin Bondurant's just lucky he doesn't have any damage from this because he had plenty of opportunities to absolutely get slammed into, and everybody managed to avoid him perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that you lock your brakes down and pray, because at any time you could get busted wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to come down to pit road, and it is certainly busy down there. Let's see if we can get a better view here. Man, we got so many cameras. I don't even know which one to go to right now, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Alrighty.
92 of Tristan Labuser leads the way. Go ahead.
I was saying that race control has deemed that last wreck net code, so no drivers will be redeemed at fault there. So just a little bit of tidbit of information for the chat.
Good to know for sure. Let's see if we can bring up our patented Hutchinson Motorsports TV pit strategy board. You're going to see your top 4 drivers there. Tristan Laducer, Diego Sainz, Jason Dalton, Ed Robertson, all staying out. They're going to make their tires last a little bit longer. You can see the drivers underneath them. It doesn't show a lap on them yet, but all those guys beneath them just came down and pit on lap 96. What do you think about the number 96, Christian? Is that a good number?
I think it's a great number.
You wouldn't be biased whatsoever, would you?
Have I ever been biased in my entire life, Jesse?
Absolutely, yes. But anyways...
What? These are some slanderous remarks.
No. I can't
Race
even
car lights
remember
are
who you
off, though.
picked to win, honestly. Who did you pick to win this thing?
Rooster.
Really? I mean, that's... He's all the way back in 16th, man. My guy's up here on the front row. Diego Sainz looking good.
Well, that's why you're the smart one with that, you know, that big head of yours.
Yeah, big, bald, beautiful noggin of mine.
Yeah,
Pace car is off, and we're going into the restart zone. Go ahead and take it green, Christian.
Tristan Leducer on the bottom side, heading into the Eco Park restart zone. Green flag in the air as Leducer gets that jump, kind of spins the tires a little bit there, gathers it up, heading down the front stretch into turn one. You have Strayer back there in the third position, looking under Dalton, now just following him through the turn. Side by side for fourth, you have Young and Pluff.
I've got to say, it's so strange how the 92 of Leducer also stayed out, but so did the 99 of Diego Sainz, and he absolutely plummeted down the leaderboard. He ended up all the way back here in 22nd. What the hell happened?
I'm not sure there, but I'm just watching some intense battle right here, right where Rooster is in the 28. They're kind of settling out now, but they were side by side there, almost 3 wide into a turn before.
This has been some good racing. We got 3 wide action behind here. 91 of Dylan Rosenberg looking to make it 3 wide. Rosenberg, whatever it is, either way. He's not afraid to make a move. We know that about the 91.
Definitely so. Gonna keep an eye on him, see what he's got moving forward, as we are on lap 102 now of 150, so just 48 laps to go here at Dover. The monster lift wheel, high banks, high speed, and no place to hide. You know, Dover is a short track with a super speedway attitude.
You are not lying. I mean, my first couple laps around Dover in this sim were honestly terrifying, because you're going through the corner and you feel like you're going so freaking fast that you come out of the corner and you're like, oh crap, the wall is right there, and you've got to learn to time your throttle on the exit, because if you hit it too fast, you're just going to smoke the outside wall. As you can see, a couple drivers scraping it there in the back.
Definitely so. It happens a lot of times on the exit 2 here at Dover. This track was opened back in 1969 originally with an asphalt surface, but they knew that wasn't good enough, so back in 1995 they concreted it. Like I said, this is a 1-mile oval, and they have a high 24-degree banking in the turn, so you are truly racing in a fishbowl.
That is for sure. They just raced Bristol last week, and this is almost like Bristol's, I think I said it earlier, it's almost like Bristol's bigger brother, because it's a concrete track. Well, it's got high banks. I mean, it's pretty similar.
Interesting you say that, though, because I do see a note here in my sheet that drivers often compare to it as Bristol on steroids.
Yeah, that's a good explanation too, but I mean, Bristol is kind of just unique in its own way. I mean, I know there's drivers that refuse to race Bristol because it makes them motion sick.
You know, that is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. If you can't handle Bristol, I don't even know why you race on the sim.
I can absolutely agree. I can tell you someone who can handle Dover, though, and that's the 41 of Lucas Strayer leading the way. Mark Whitley in the 77 in second, with Ricky Springer third, Tyler Pluff fourth, Brian Sutphin rounding out the top 5.
While you mentioned Lucas Sprayer, I'm sure we haven't mentioned this yet tonight. SpoilerDiecast.com, Jesse. Did you know you could go there and use code GLSR and get free shipping site-wide?
Really?
Really. I mean, they have diecast as in their name, but they also have some merch and some accessories that are really cool. You go over there, check them out. All your favorite drivers, all your favorite teams can be found on Spoiler Diecast, as Whitley pulls up beside him on the bottom side, challenging him for the lead. Mark Whitley from Wilmington, North Carolina, down through turns 3 and 4 on the bottom, taking back his race lead here at Dover.
Yeah, the 77 of Whitley definitely looking to move up the standings once again. Previous champion here in the GLSR league. As we take another look at the standings here, with 109 laps done of 150, Whitley they're on the bottom of the list in 20th. I mean, Logan Fastician's ahead of him, so Whitley's definitely looking to make a climb up the board here.
Definitely so. I'm going to keep an eye on Whitley the rest of this race, because this is going to be his to win with 40 laps to go. Does he have the tire strategy? Does he have the strength to keep that lead moving, as he's up to half a second almost?
Yeah, there's an equal chance in my mind that he could just roll out from here and go the rest of the way if this thing stays green. But I also have that thought of maybe he's using his stuff up a little bit too much to get that lead, and he's going to get reeled back in. Only time will tell, and we've got less than 40 laps left here in the Harpoon Design 150 at Dover.
40 laps here at Dover, and also duel number 2 over in the Superstar ARCA Cup Series just went green. They are on lap 1 of 40 over there at Daytona International Speedway as Sam Hoff leads that field to green.
I feel like there's a good chance, I don't know how many laps they have over there, but I feel like this race may have started later and might end earlier than the duels over there in the Superstar Cup Series. So we'll have to stay tuned to that one, see if we're going to send you over there or if their audience is going to get sent over here.
I have a feeling as we are at the quick Dover, unless we start junking it now, that's always a possibility that we're going to be done well before them as we're watching Chad White, Hutchinson Motorsports TV driver on the screen. Like I said, Chad White is battling for his job right now, and 7th might just cut it to buy him another couple weeks. He is not a part of the big lawsuit going on right now, Jesse. Have you heard any details about that?
I know that there is stuff going on, and I can't speak on any details. But it's definitely an interesting time to be an HMS TV driver, for sure.
It definitely is. You know, our lawyers have advised us not to talk about it on air, not to say any names, but Sean Atkins is definitely going to be looking up. Back to you, Jesse.
Whoa, look out! Chad goes around!
Oh, Chad! What are you doing? You're fired! You're so fired!
You're going to fire him? You don't even know if it was his fault. Do you even have the authority to fire him?
He's bringing back a tore up race truck here tonight. He's fired. We're going to watch this replay and see what happened.
Yeah, let's hop up to that Harpoon Design blimp and see what happened with the 88. We were riding on board, and all of a sudden we were looking at the inside wall.
All right, the 5. All right. I won't fire Chad this time. Oh, my goodness. But he just kept spinning.
Yeah, I don't think Chad could have done anything else there. The 5 just comes up a little bit trying to get the little side draft action going, and well, you can see the results there. The 88 goes around. 4th caution of the night. I'm not sure if that number is correct, but it sounds just about right. And this could be an important moment of strategy here.
Yep. During the 2 issues that Spectrum caused, there was an extra caution, one that we're going to have to try to figure out if we could get a replay on for like a short or something. There was a major wreck on lap 54, but nonetheless, oh, look who just decided to take a last-minute strategy pit there. Interesting.
Yeah, Whitley comes down. I see Lucas Strayer there, among others. Ricky Springer, Brian Sutphin, Forrest Smith, 3 of the drivers going to stay out, save another set of tires, and speaking of the issues we had earlier, Christian, I've been what I would call a Spectrum lifer. Here in North Carolina, we used to have Time Warner Cable, and I actually had called Time Warner Cable and had them set up Time Warner Cable Internet the day before it changed over to Spectrum. So, I mean, I was with Spectrum before they were Spectrum. So, I think tonight's the first night that I'm willing to openly slander Spectrum and say that they screwed me out of this broadcast. But I'm just at least glad we're back now. It's probably my own fault, but I'm going to blame Spectrum anyways.
Well, speaking of Spectrum, you know, I worked on the other side, you know, Time Warner Cable became Spectrum. I worked on the other side of that business merger, which was Charter Spectrum. Before it was Spectrum, I worked for Charter Communications out there in Carolina Beach. And I tell you what, Charter Communications was a thriving company that bought Time Warner Cable. A lot of people don't know it that way. And they decided that, okay, we're going to start at the top and zip these companies down the middle. So for the longest time, the technician's job didn't change at all. But it started up top with the CEOs. And they said, all right, well, being y'all are the bigger company, Time Warner Cable, we're going to let your CEOs take over. But they were already running a failing company. So what happens when the failing CEOs take over, Jesse?
I can't imagine anything good.
Nope. It started downhill from there as the companies got closer and closer together. some policies, and somebody sitting at a desk was trying to tell us technicians how long it should take to do a job, and it was time to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been away from Spectrum for many years now, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to call you when I have internet issues and hope you can fix it.
And I do, Jesse, as the pace car is heading down the backstretch with his lights out. Jerry Springer, no, his cousin Springer on the outside, or inside, excuse me, going to be taking this field to green.
Yeah, your top 4 drivers there, Ricky Springer, Brian Sutphin, Forrest Smith, Dylan Rosenberg, on old tires. Everybody behind them just pit there on lap 116, so these front 4 are going to have a scary couple laps here as this thing get ready to go green. Pace cars off once again here in the Harpoon Design 150.
Let's see what this field has. Green flag in the air here. It's over. Ricky Springer on the bottom gets that massive jump. Heading into turns 1, though, you got Stuffin behind him trying to reel him in. Mark, Whitley, and Smith on the inside and outside, respectively, battling for second now. Caution's back out.
And there's junk
big
in the back. Tyler Hallman, I know he's involved in the 52. That's the first name that jumped out to me. Several trucks involved. Ed Robertson for sure one of the trucks involved. Let's hop back up into that Harpoon Designs blimp and see what happened to the 52.
Oh. Just major junk after the 52 gets turned.
I think he saved that truck about 4 times.
Yeah. Just didn't work out.
Let's go back and rewind it and take a look at it in slow motion here. You see the 92 there behind him. He's been up front a good bit of the night, so he's trying to get back up there. He gets him once, gets him loose. He's going to come get him again here in a second. 52 trying to save it.
Yep, just finishes him off right there. Oh, nope, there's going to be another kiss.
Oh, yeah. There he goes around. The 92 says, no, we're not doing any half spins here, pal. You're going all the way around.
And then the 11 just trying to avoid, gets into the 64, which hits the 52. 64 washes up the track, across the nose of the 11 again, into the 19. Nowhere to go. And Jesse, just let it roll right here. I heard something in the chat I want to see. All right, I thought they were talking about, like, somebody saying check up, and then somebody said it was too late, thinking we are going to see an ARCA break, but it seems like we're good to go there.
All right, let's go back live here. You see the 52 Hallman on pit road getting fixed back up. A couple guys still staying out, not deciding to pit, but we did have a few guys come down pit road. Of course, Tyler Hallman, Ed Robertson involved in that last one. They came down pit road. The 34 of Logan Festchician and the 86 of Caleb Fosnot also on pit road at the moment. As we are pacing once again here from Dover Motor Speedway. And we're going to go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be back with you for some more green flag action here in the Harpoon Design 150. As we get ready to go back green flag racing once again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you that's tuned in. I know we've had some struggles here on this end tonight, but glad to have you back. Glad you could find us once again. Pace car is off, and we're going to drop the green flag one more time. Ricky Springer, Mark Whitley lead the field to green. Whitley in the 77, a little bit of tire spin. 18 of Springer gets a good jump with him, though. We're going to go side by side into turn one. Springer, though, going to cover up for now. We'll see if the 77 on fresher tires is going to battle back. He's going to try. 18 gives him a block. Carnage is going on behind him. They stay green, though. We've got a side-by-side battle here between Darrell Young Jr. and Forrest Smith. That's going to be for around your 7th spot. 9 of Justin Bondurant throwing his name in that hat. He had an incident earlier. He's trying to bounce back from that. We go back up forward. The 4 of Colin Fambro. He is trying to make his way towards the front as the 18 of Springer starting to fade. He's on older tires. Mark Whitley trying to run away with it. Get his first win of the season in that 77. 28 of Rooster. Brandon Alphen blinking a little bit. I actually think it's on his end for once and not on my end. That's a first for tonight. But as everything starts to get a little bit calmed down, time is ticking away. 25 laps to go. Here in the Harpoon design in 150, you got Steve Tucker in that number 1 truck. He is battling, trying to keep his top 10 spot out of Boston, Massachusetts. Jason Dalton in the 2 right behind him trying to take that spot away. One thing about this race tonight is for sure there's been battles all over this track. You see another one right here. Justin Bondurant gets by the 41 of Lucas Strayer. He's going to move up into your top 5. As Darrell Young Jr. tries to hold off the 75 of Christian Angel, otherwise known as Rowdy. Ben Pearson, the 14, trying to make his way into the top 10 as the 2 of Jason Dalton was able to get by Steve Tucker. As I'm doing my best to keep an eye on all the position changes I can. There's so much action with this many drivers that I'm surely going to miss something, but doing my best to keep an eye on the action as the 75. Whoa, that got sketchy for a second. The 2 of Jason Dalton and the 18 of Ricky Springer had a little bit of contact. I don't think it was intentional. But with 20 laps to go, the 18 of Springer hoping for a caution. He's probably got another set of tires saved up, ready to throw on that 18 truck. If this thing stays green, though, he's not going to be able to do it as Mark Whitley's lead up to about a half a second now. And you got a battle for second between the 4 of Fambro and the 28 of Brandon Alphen. Connor Gerard in the chat saying the 77 might win. I think he might have it in the bag if this thing stays green. But we're going to have to wait and see as the 4 of Fambro fights back. He finds his way to the inside of the 28 of Alphen now. Oh, and there's contact. The 28's loose. He's able to keep it straight, but that was almost disastrous. Fambro does back off. I don't think he meant to make the contact, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it. We drop back. You see the 71 of Darrell Young Jr. and the 2 of Jason Dalton battling right now. It's going to be for your 8th spot. 2 of Dalton able to make the pass. Let's see what else we got going on. We go back here to 12th and 13th. Your points leader, Matt Telder, about to get passed potentially by Tristan Ladouceur. Even farther back to 19th here, you see the 19 of Cedric Ingram trying to pass the 15 of Forrest Smith up on the outside there. Battles all over this track. Go ahead, Christian. Welcome back.
Yeah, back at it again. Still seeing Mark Whitley. I was just over there at Daytona. You know, Daytona to Dover in the snap of a finger. I'm over there watching Senior lead that field, tight battle there. It looks like there's been a shakeup on the high side since I left, but nonetheless, we're not at Daytona. We're at Dover right now.
Now, Christian, you didn't tell me, as we've got 16 laps to go here, you didn't tell me that you have knowledge of teleportation, and I feel like you could make some real money off of that if you just released it.
I'm not going to release my secrets. I could go from Daytona to Dover to Darlington to Talladega to Martinsville. I could be anywhere at any time, Jesse.
That's certainly a scary thought. I couldn't imagine you just popping up next to me out of nowhere.
I'm standing behind you, Jesse.
I'm so scared.
But you mentioned who was going to finish this race first, whether it be Daytona or Dover. We are at 17 laps to go. They're at 21 laps to go. So with this cautions, we're trying to keep up with them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to
14
see
laps to go,
for sure. This thing stays green. You see Mark Whitley, his lead up to about 3/4 of a second now. I don't think anybody's going to be able to touch the 77. He's looking to get his first win on the season. But there's still battles all over this track, so as you see the 11 of Telder, he's super slow. What happened to him?
Just fell off.
Look out, Chad.
Definitely so. Chad.
The 11's got heavy damage, and the 33's washing up into him. What is happening back here?
Gonna have to keep an eye on this. We got some drama going on.
Yeah, Telder must have gotten into the wall. Mark Whitley doesn't care, though. It didn't bring out that yellow, so it doesn't phase him. As you see Colin Fambro trying to reel back in Brandon Alphen for that second spot.
Yeah, I tell you what, right now, if anyone were to say there was debris on the track, Mark Whitley would just run them over with the truck because he just wants this race to stay green until the end. It's his race. As something's happened, he kind of falls back almost a 10th right there instantly.
As we watch the driver I said to watch tonight, Diego Sainz, sitting in 12th/13th right now at Richmond, Texas. I thought he had a lot more speed than he's showing right now. He's not even in the top 10, and he's got a win here at Dover in the Xfinity cars.
Well, that just goes to show you that what you've done in the past doesn't represent what you're doing in the future. As you see Colin battling right there, it gets real close to the Rooster on the outside. Rooster
What did you say his first name was? Colin?
You don't have to call me out live.
I couldn't help myself, but look at this battle between these two.
Oh! Sorry about the jump scare there, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a going to pit road in the Superstar ARCA series. Man, oh man, that was a hard hit.
We'll have to check that one out afterwards, as the 4 of Fambro going to slide up in front of that 28 of Brandon Alphen. I think the 28's giving up the ghost. He might have burnt his stuff up compared to the 4, and they're actually, don't speak now, they're only a 1/4 of a second back from your leader. All of a sudden, they're reeling the 77 in with 7 laps to go here. A lot of 7s. Could this be his lucky day?
We're going to see 7 laps to go. Colin is there in that second position. We're going to have a battle to call here, Jesse, whatever your name is. Don't lie to me.
Well, you got Colin's name wrong, so you might as well get mine wrong too. And look at the block. The 77 almost getting wrecked over trying to keep the lead.
Well, it ain't going to matter if you get junked for the lead there, as you're going to see if the 4 could reel him back in. He already said over the radio he's not lifting next time, but you can't not expect a block there, Jesse.
I would say that was almost a 1 lap to go block. That was almost a little extreme for 6 laps to go, but I'll give him a pass. I don't think the 4 is going to give him another one, though.
Well, yeah, you give him a pass, but if he gets around you, it don't matter what lap it is, as he's going to go to the bottom side here. through the turn. Mark Whitley's going to lay it on his doors. The 4 washes up ever so slightly. Going to make the pass. What I was about to say, though, is that 77 truck, now that he's been passed, you're going to see that 4 just take off. He's going to just drop like a rock now, unfortunately.
Yeah, the only thing the 28 of Brandon Alpin's hoping is that he can get by the 77 immediately and hope he has anything for that 4 Fambro, but with 4 laps to go, we're going to have to see if we get a yellow or if this thing is going to be in the bag for the 4 of Colin Fambro in that Red Bull truck.
Oh, my goodness. Did you see how close Rooster was when he slid up in front of Mark there? He was clear, but I'm going to have to say barely.
And just for anybody watching that doesn't have much context, this is probably one of the more elite leagues that we broadcast here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. The overall iRating, I believe the average is a little over 3K here in the Mr. Radiator Truck Series. Both of these drivers very experienced on the sim, and they're really showing it.
Showing it indeed, as we had, an impressive battle for the lead, but now with 2 laps to go down the backstretch for the second to last time, your race leader, Colin, in that 4 truck there, going around turns 3 and 4. Gonna take the white flag one more time around this monster mile.
3 corners left for the Red Bull machine of Colin Fambro, doing his best Connor Zilic impression with the Red Bull sponsorship. 2 more corners to go through 3 and 4. Looking for his first win of the season. The 4 of Colin Fambro is your winner here in the Harpoon Designs 150 at Dover.
Oh.
Brandon Alphin brings home second. Mark Whitley third. Tyler Plouffe actually brings home your 4th spot, and Justin Bondurant rounds out your top 5 here tonight.
Definitely was an intense race. Connor Gerard in the chat, you're going to have to put it on the intense meter over here.
That did certainly get intense near the end. I'm telling you, if this race was about 5 laps shorter, we might have had a photo finish.
But my pick to win it came in second. That is Rooster. We talked about him earlier. But ladies and gentlemen, Mark Whitley is your 3rd place finisher on the podium here tonight.
Yeah, you know what? As we watch the 4 burn it down, let's go ahead and chat with the driver of the 77. Do you have him available, Christian?
Taking a peek. I know they usually hang out over in their Discord. He'll be over here momentarily, I'd hope. Unless I'm just missing him.
I don't think you're missing him. I don't see him myself, but I do see your 2nd place finisher, the 28 of Brandon Alphin.
All right, well, you want to we'll give Mark Whitley some time to join while we jump the old Rooster there. Alrighty, so your 2nd place finisher here tonight gonna be Brandon Alphin in that 28 machine. Mr. Rooster, you bring it home 2nd. Walk us through the race. How was your strategy and how did it feel?
I really didn't have a strategy. I mean, it kind of just let it come to you, especially at Dover. I mean, it just kind of depends. It almost seems like it's a coin flip as far as being able to get a long green flag run in and just kind of seeing, that last, I think it was like Joey, Jason, and the guys that had took tires. I think it was maybe with 80 to go or something like that. I think if we would have stayed green, that would have been the right strategy. But I just never really know. And kind of the way the race played out, I always kind of thought that we were going to have some cautions there at the end. So I wanted to keep it set for us and stuff. And it just kind of worked out to get us up to P2. So we'll take it. Then look forward to moving on to next week.
Definitely so. Jesse, what do you got for our 2nd place finisher here tonight?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that I heard some people talking there at the end of this race about the setup change. Did you have any practice on the previous setup, and how different was the truck, and was it a big jump to get used to if you had any practice previous?
I mean, I didn't really practice before. I ran maybe about 10, 15 laps. Coming into it, then I always use like that hour before for the session. So luckily I didn't have, spend a lot of time on it. And I really couldn't tell. There were some guys on the team that said it felt the same and that kind of stuff. But I know there's also a couple guys too who spent a lot of time practicing and with it. But we're loose, and I'm more in favor of a looser car, truck, anything. I always felt like I could kind of keep it under me a lot faster with that as opposed to driving a tight truck. And there at the end, that's what it kind of got. I mean, just eventually to a point where I couldn't turn it anymore, and so there really wasn't a ton there. So I was just kind of, I guess, neutral on it and stuff. But that stuff happens and all that stuff, and especially too, I think he said it was dragging maybe. I think he said the last setup was maybe the undercarriage was really dragging and stuff. But so I can't really. I'm not a good guy to say yes or no if there was a big difference in it and stuff. So, but like I said, it just got, man, it was real. The setup we had tonight, at least for me in the beginning, it could be real on edge. Just felt like you could really kind of lose it. And Dover's a tough track too, just with the how fast it is for how short of a track it is. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, and glad to be able to get out there and get a top 5 and have a good points day. Then look forward to next week, which I'm not how it's to look. I'm not sure where we're at next week, but just kind of keep the momentum rolling and stacking Wednesdays and having good races.
Definitely. So I'm seeing next week over here in the Mr. Radiator Truck Series. We just were at Dover. We're actually headed on over to the dirty track of Eldor, racing on the dirt. So tell us how you're going to think about that one.
I'm just going to be glad to finish the race and stuff. I do. I mean, I've raced some dirt on the sim and stuff, like in dirt cars, and obviously I've been a part of this league too in years or seasons past, and we've ran dirt, but I don't expect anything too crazy. I'll be happy with finishing and being. I'm shooting for a top 10. I know it could kind of get a little crazy. I know there's a lot of guys who are better on dirt than oval in here, so I'm sure Matt Telder's one of them. He'll be looking forward to next week and stuff, so he'll probably be running up front. But just probably have to put a lot of practice this week at least. I usually kind of, run a little bit, but just kind of trying to figure it out. That's one thing I've never really kind of understood with dirt is the slick of it and stuff. I'm fine when the track's real grippy, but man, whenever it starts slicking up, that's whenever I kind of have a problem. Feel like I can't control the truck, car, any of that stuff. So, it's always, I will say, it's one of the more fun races of the season, at least for me. Just always kind of like getting out of my element and doing something different. So, definitely be looking forward to next week.
Alrighty, well, definitely. So, one more congratulations here on your second place finish tonight, Mr. Brandon. We're going to send you back down to your team.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Good job, bud.
Thank you.
I think Christian sent himself down.
We're going to sit. Yeah.
I was good.
All right.
That's right.
We're
Here.
going to do this right.
I'll get it out for you. I'll get out for you. Right. Why? You want to see a magic trick?
Okay. Well, that was embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. I've never done that before, but I did it here tonight. Nonetheless, your race winner here tonight at Dover, Mr. Colin Frambro in the chat. This is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy.
Got you, boys.
Welcome in. You took it home here tonight at Dover. Walk us through this race. It seemed to be a fun one out there on the track. I watched you burn it down at the end and park it in Victory Lane. How'd it feel?
Man, it was good. Dover's typically one of my better tracks, and I knew I should have a shot at it. I mean, I absolutely botched qualifying. Like I rolled my what up around my foot and stepped all over it. But was able to make it back through the field. Good tire strategy. Taking tires at the right time was key. Moving forward on restarts was key, and then just that last run to the end, I felt like those guys, the 28 and the 77, I think, I felt like they were going just a bit too hard for how many laps we had left. This track was absolutely brutal on tires. About lap 25 to 29, they just completely fell off a cliff. So I thought if I let them go, they might come back to me. I felt like that was the only way I was going to get them, because I wasn't just going to outpace them, because we're all on the same tires. And it just worked out at the end that they burned their stuff up a little bit, and then they came back to me there at the end.
All righty. Well, congratulations on your race win here tonight. Jesse, what do you got for our race winner?
Yeah, I want to say it was kind of, to me anyways, it seemed to be a little quiet for you throughout the start of this race. I didn't see much of you. And then all of a sudden with, 5 laps to go, you're reeling in Mark Whitley, and all of a sudden you're running away with this thing. I mean, was that did it just kind of fall into place for you at the right exact time, or were you kind of just biding your time during the whole race?
No, I mean, I started so far back. Like, I think I started 24th or 25th. So we had those 2 early cautions, and then there was a run there where the strategy was pretty split. And so I think I had made it up to like 6th, but then those guys came with new tires and blew us all away. And so that put me back to like 14th or 16th or something. And then I just had to work my way back up. We got fortunate with that second to last or third to last caution, whatever it was. And I was able to take tires and have an advantage on, a few of those guys, and then just restarts, man. I think that was the key to the whole thing. I was just talking to Luke, and he was talking about, like, man, I could not go forward on a restart. And I think for me, I went forward on every restart. So even if there was a quick caution, I was almost jumping a row of cars, which, those are guys that I didn't have to pass under green. So I think it just took me the whole race to get there.
Well, you got there at the end. Congratulations to you, Mr. Collin. I'm going to give you a chance to give us any shout-outs you might have.
Yeah, I want to shout out, obviously, our Team Force Racing guys. Really good effort tonight from everybody. Want to say hello to my wife and my kids, Gina, Austin, and Chase. I'm sure they'll be asking me in the morning how I did. So I'll let them watch this and let them hear their name on the broadcast, and they'll get a huge kick out of that.
Well, hello to Gina, Ashton, and Chase. Did I say it right?
Austin.
There you go. Well, hello to all of them. Jesse, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. Well, nonetheless, one last congratulations, taking home the win tonight here at Dover Motor Speedway in the Harpoon Design 150.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, that was, as he was saying something, I put him out, but nonetheless, that was your race winner, Collin Fambro, with us tonight.
Man, oh man.
Jesse, what a race that was.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was quite the event. Not too many, of course the statistics are going to be all off because of our issues, and if you're still here and you stuck with us through all of that, hashtag blame Spectrum, probably not their fault, I'm going to blame them anyways, but we bounced back at the end and managed to have what I believe to be an issue-free stream pretty much for the back half of the race, so glad we could at least put that together, and I'm glad to have you with me, and I appreciate your co-broadcasting with me tonight. It's always nice to have a second voice to bounce back and forth with.
Of course, it was fun. I really enjoyed this race, and let's just spam hashtag blame Spectrum down in the chat. I do see 14 people watching, so ladies and gentlemen, from Hudgens Motorsports TV, we do apologize for the technical issues that may have been out of our control, but nonetheless, congratulations to your podium finishers here tonight. Definitely was one of those races that you'll just remember for the rest of the season. Whether you were Collin and took it home in the lead, or maybe somebody like Logan who got wrecked out earlier, this is going to be one of the races that you remember for a while.
It was certainly one of the races of all time, for sure. I wish we could have talked to third place finisher Mark Whitley. A good race from him. I really thought that he was going to get his first win on the year, but it just didn't happen to be in the cards. He burnt his stuff up a little bit, and the other drivers were able to get around him, put him in third place. But you almost had the right pick to win it there with your driver to watch, Brandon Alphen, but unfortunately came up one spot short. But I think on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and end it off here. Harpoon Designs 150 from Dover Motor Speedway, as Christian said earlier. We're going to be getting down and dirty next week at Eldora, if that is correct, which I can tell you I'm definitely excited to call that one. That's going to be a good time in my opinion. I don't know what the other drivers will think about it, but it sounds like a blast to me. So on that note, let's get some HMS tunes playing. Go ahead and send y'all off. Have Larry Mack talk to you, and then we'll run the outro. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll be seeing you next week here in the GLSR Mr. Radiator Truck Series.
Bye, everybody.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other! Checkered flag in the air! It's gonna be too close to call! Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! Turned! He got dumped in the IMSA racing! Caution is out. Oh! He's dead! Doing each other with their junk